I didn't bath, I didn't brush my teeth, I didn't wash my face, I didn't wash anywhere. I just jumped, wore my clothes, headed towards the door, and remembered that I was in bathroom slippers. It was then I had to come back, snatched my shoes. I couldn't sit to wear it, so the shoes were in my hand, running towards the taxi pickup area, and everybody was looking at me. Initially, it was embarrassing, but there was nothing I could do about it. I just had to rush just to get a taxi. Life here can really be crazy. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode here on my YouTube channel. If it is your first time of coming across this channel, my name is Rebecca Ajiman, BSc RN from Ghana, currently living and working in England as a registered nurse. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you how to survive your first 1 to 2 weeks here in the UK. It could even take up to a month to adapt to a new environment. And I must say that sometimes it's very challenging because you are moving into a new space, you are moving into a new environment, and you don't know what to expect, especially if you are from overseas. And there are some things that you have to do in a short possible time. There are some mistakes I made, honestly, and I don't want you to make these mistakes. So I want to brace you. I want you to brace yourself as you are moving into a new space. There are some things you should do, there are some things you shouldn't do, all right? It's expected of you in the first 1 week to 1 month of your arrival in UK to do certain things. And the number one is to blend or adapt into a new environment. And this includes adapting into your new residential environment and adapting into your new work environment, because you're going to meet new people from different walks of life who have vast experiences, and you are going to share your experiences with them. Sometimes it can be challenging, especially if you are not familiar with a lot of things in this setting. It can be really, really stressful for you. You can be anxious at times. At the same time, you're expected to open your bank account. At the same time, you're expected to commence your OSCE training. It means you have to be learning. At the same time, you have to do e-learning online with your trust. If you're with the NHS, we have some mandatory and statutory learnings that you have to complete in 6 weeks. You also have to complete your local induction with your line manager. And you are combining all these in the shortest possible time. Sometimes it can be really, really stressful. At the same time, you have to cope with the weather, because the weather is not going to joke with you, baby. Especially if you are from a tropical environment like where I came from, the weather can be very harsh on you. It can be really dry, your skin can break, and I had those problems. And so today I'm going to tell you what you should do, at least in the first 1 week to the first 1 month of your arrival in the UK, so that you have a smooth transition. I've grouped them into bits, but I will start with talking about food, about culture, and about the weather. Trust me guys, the weather in the UK is dry. It's dry and really cold. It's even better in England. In Northern Ireland and in Scotland, it can really get cold and dry and windy at the same time. So I advise that if you are coming, get at least one heavy jacket that is going to give you warmth. Because imagine maybe you're going somewhere and you miss a bus and you have to wait for the next bus to arrive, and you are in just a simple blouse or a simple top without coat. You are definitely going to freeze, depending on the weather or the season that you came to meet. So please get one heavy cloth, get your hand gloves, get your neck covers, get your thick socks, your stockings or your leggings or your trousers or anything to keep you warm. All right. Most of the times, the trust or the agency that you came with, depending, they can provide you with beddings, like to sleep with, bedspread, duvet, and everything that you can sleep with to provide you warmth. Otherwise, I will tell you, bring some along or get some immediately you arrive. So ask your agency, ask your trust, are you going to provide all these things for me? If not, immediately you come, you have to get these things to keep you warm. The weather is very dry already. So if you have a dry skin, or even if you don't, you have to get creams that have moisturizers in them. I really had this problem. My skin was flaky, was breaking, it was always white. So you have to get good creams that have moisturizers or enough oils in them so that you do not have this problem. Again, is the food. I wish somebody had told me that the food here, adjusting to it is really difficult, especially if you are like me, who is used to local food and you have lived all your life in like one country. Maybe you travel but just for vacation and you are back, but most of the times you are in your home country. Adjusting to food here can be really crazy. Oh my God. I still remember when I came, the trust that I came to work with was so kind, very, very kind. They provided me with, groceries, enough groceries for at least about a week or 5 days. And when I saw the groceries, I was really happy. I was excited. Though I bought some foodstuffs, but not enough, I couldn't eat anything they brought to me. From frozen foods to cookies. Their cookies were too sugary. Some of them were too salty. Oh my God. I think it was only bread and 1 or 2 things that I could use in the stuff. The rest just went to the bin. So please, if you are like me and you are coming, instead of bringing clothes enough, like the way I did, I brought too many clothes and I didn't bring enough food. So you can do it the other way around. Bring enough food and minimize the clothes, because trust me, you get all the designer clothes in here. The expensive clothes, the good quality clothes are all found here. So it's better to bring just a little clothes, and then you get your food, your African diet, to at least keep you for 1 to 2 weeks or even 3 weeks. By that time, you would have known where to locate your African shop or your Asian shop or your whatever shop, so that you can get more stuff to refill. In the UK, policies are different. Everything here is policy and evidence-based. As a nurse, everything you do here is evidence-based. If you do not have evidence for it, it cannot be done. And if you do not document it, it means it is not done. And everything you can do here, until you are trained and competent to carry it out, you can't do it. So if you are the guru in venipuncture, if you are the guru in catheterization, if you are the guru in wound dressing, whatever your nursing expertise is, even if you have a master's degree, PhD in nursing, until you have been trained and taught how to do it here, you are not competent to carry it out. And that is one challenge that most people have. So I will tell you, be open-minded, be ready to learn, unlearn, cope, and adjust. So, all right, we have some, mandatory trainings, we have statutory trainings, we have local inductions, we have role-specific inductions or role-specific trainings, and you have to complete all these things. Some like fall prevention, venipuncture, manual handling, and all those things. They are things you already know. You already know them. But until you are trained to do it the way it is done here, you can't do it. Even vital signs or observations, as we call it. Until you have been trained and competent to do vital signs, or you have done it for somebody to see and evaluate that you are competent enough, you can't do it. Right? And sometimes doing all these things in a span of 6 weeks or so with the NHS can really be crazy. Because at the same time, mind you, you are preparing for OSCE exams. And you are learning for OSCE. At the same time, you are learning for the ward. And sometimes the things done in OSCE, OSCE is an exam, so it is more standardized. The things done in OSCE are different from the way things are done on the ward. So you are learning 2 things at the same time. And sometimes getting hold of these 2 things at a time, not to confuse yourself to do ward things for OSCE and not to do OSCE things for ward, can be really confusing. But in all, what I would say is that your line manager provides you with a mentor, and it's the responsibility of this mentor to train you, to teach you, to adapt, or to set goals for your career that you are going to meet over 6 months, over a year, over 3 months, over 2 weeks, and so on and so forth. So your duty is not to be anxious. I remember the very first day I was introduced at work to my colleagues that I was going to work with my black face and seeing all white faces around, I was really nervous. I wasn't sure of anything on the ward. I was seeing a whole lot of machines and everything I wasn't familiar with. At that point, I asked myself, can I really work here, or I need to change environment? So there I met one lady who was a new nurse, overseas nurse too, who has recently passed the OSCE, and I started to engage her. So she was the one who made me come, and she was like, sis, I also had the same issue when I came. I saw everything, I was so nervous, I was saying with time you'll be fine. And my line manager was so kind. My line manager was very, very, very kind. She told me, Becky, you can't learn everything at once. At least you are going to be here over a period. So give yourself some time, learn more, open up your mind to learning, adjusting, learning and unlearning. If you have any difficulty, ask people. They are all here to help you. But don't ask anybody who is fresh, okay? So some of these things, really, really helps. Your managers are kind. They are there to assist you in every way. With OSCE, you have a trainer who is going to train you as well. So what you have to do for yourself is to set your priorities right. Have your timetable, have your Google Calendar, programmed with your schedules that you have to meet, right? And another thing with this timing thing, let me chip this in. When I came, I made one silly mistake. I didn't know here time was time. In Africa, somebody can tell you 7 a.m. and it's actually 8 a.m. they are talking about. So I slept. The first day I was supposed to start my OSCE training, I didn't set an alarm. So I was supposed to meet my taxi at 7:55 a.m. or latest by 8. I was supposed to be at the taxi waiting area to pick up the taxi to my OSCE training grounds, because I was doing the training in another facility and I was working in one facility, but it's all within one trust. So I didn't set alarm. I slept and overslept. I woke up the next morning, and by the time I jumped from bed to check on my phone to see the time, it was 7:54. It means I have only 1 minute to do everything I had to do and leave the room. Imagine, I didn't bath, I didn't brush my teeth, I didn't wash my face, I didn't wash anywhere. I just jumped from bed. Fortunately, I had packed my clothes and assembled my things that I was going to go with, but I didn't pack food. So I had to jump from bed. I didn't eat, I didn't do anything. I just wore my clothes and I was running towards the door with my bag in hand. Then I remembered that I was in bathroom slippers. Oh my God. I was in bathroom slippers, so I had to rush back. I snatched my shoes. I couldn't sit to wear it because I was already late. I just ran with my shoes in hand to the taxi waiting area. When I got there, fortunately, the driver wasn't yet in, so I had to sit somewhere, wear my shoes, relax, and then wait for the taxi. I didn't pick any food, so the whole of the day I didn't eat. I didn't eat, not because there wasn't any food around where I went. I could get food at their restaurants and all that, but the money I brought again was little, guys. When you're coming, also prepare at least a little bit of cash, or on your card or your debit card should be with you. That was a mistake I made. I didn't put any money on my debit card to do any online groceries or anything. And the physical cash I had in my hands was just £100. And you can't tell whether you are going to be paid immediately or not, because you have not even opened your bank account, which I'm going to talk about briefly, how to go about opening your bank account. So set alarms and use your Google Calendar to guide you to schedule your days. If you have trainings, schedule the trainings on your Google Calendar so that they will give you alerts and alarms when you are supposed to go. Otherwise, you are always going to be behind. Also, ask from your colleagues. If you came with colleagues or you know people who are already there, who are already here, or when you trust that please ask them questions. Don't be an island standing somewhere, otherwise the world will be moving. I don't know where we are going. So you have to ask questions, ask your manager questions, ask your colleague questions. They are always around to help you. If only you open up, they will assist you to become the perfect person that you want to be. Next thing I'm going to talk about is how to go around your new city or your new environment. All right. My point is, make Google Map your friend. Because of the schedule here, even if you came with a friend, the friend will not be always there to guide you or to tell you when you're going here, pass here, pass here. But Google Map is your best friend if you want to travel around. Something happened to me. I didn't have the Google Map. I didn't use the Google Map actually on my phone because I didn't have a SIM card. The first few days that I came, I couldn't get a SIM card. to activate the internet. So I was using Wi-Fi in my residence, and then when I go to work, so I use the Wi-Fi at work. But aside these two places, I couldn't get internet access for anything. So I had to go to town to open a bank account, and I'll talk about the bank account pretty soon. I had to go to town to get a bank account, and we were told, okay, you can use this bus, But how to know that this bus they are talking about is passing this route, is going this way? Who will tell you? You don't know that. You have to use your smart travel app or your Google map to know the road. If you're going to walk, where you're going to walk to pass. If you're using the travel smart, where the buses are going to pass. So the first day I was going to open my bank account was actually the first day I sat in the bus. Because along anytime I'm going anywhere, is a taxi that will pick me, paid by my trust. So I went to the bus stop. I was fortunate I had a friend that asked. They told me, okay, bus number so and so. All the buses have numbers. Number A, B, C, D, E, number 10, number 11. All of them have routes. So he told me, okay, I know bus C is passing from this particular trust to where you are going. So you can use bus C. Okay, fine. I went to stand in bus stop. Bus C came. I jumped in. I didn't have the travel smart, card to do the payments. I had to pay in cash. And if you have to pay in cash, you have to use the exact amount, because most of the time they don't have change for you or balance for you. So no, don't mind. I just gave you them. I didn't even think about balance. Now my problem. Well, how will I know that this is where I'm going? If the bus gets there, how will I know? And mind you, if the bus is moving, there is no conductor in the bus. Unlike our place, there's a conductor. Just tell mates or conductor, this is where I will stop. I will stop for you. There is no conductor in the bus. And you have to press the bell. There is a bell in every seat in the bus. So when you are a bus stop away from where you alight, you just press on the bus, and then the bus stops for you at the exact place you're going to alight. So I saw the bell and I knew, okay, I have to press on it when I'm one bus stop behind where I'm going. But how do I know this is the exact place? Because my Google map is not on. So fortunately, the bus driver was very kind. When I hopped into the bus, I just told him, driver, please, could you help me? He said, all right. I told him, okay, I'm going to high street, please. I don't know there. That's my very first time on the bus. Kindly help me get there. Or alight me at the exact bus stop when you get there. It was like, okay, they sit right behind me. So I sat there and the bus kept moving. Actually, when I looked on the map before I joined the bus, I was told by 6 minutes the bus should get to where I'm going. It was past 6 minutes and the bus was still moving. And I became troubled. I asked the driver, are we not still there? He said, no, when we get down, I will alight and then you get down. I will stop and then you get down. So he got there about 10 minutes later. He got there and then he told me, hello, you are in the right place. Can you get down? I got down. When I was coming back, the same. I met one lady at the bus stop. I asked her, please, is bus C going to pass here? Because I'm going to that place. Said, okay, no problem. You can wait. It will pass here very soon. I waited for the bus. So please don't be like me. Maybe you will be fortunate to get people to be asking all the time. So get your Google map in handy. Again, in the evening of that same day, I wanted to get some groceries around Tesco, which was just about 5 minutes walk from my end. But again, I was very new. I didn't know anywhere. So I went with a friend to Tesco. We got there. We bought everything that we were supposed to buy. When we were coming, it was late because we had closed from work. So it was late. We were coming back to our accommodation and we kept walking. We're not getting there. I now asked them, my sister, are you sure we are in the right place? She was like, I'm not even sure myself, not knowing we were lost. It was late, the place was a bit dark, we couldn't see anybody to ask. God was on our side. We just walked back towards where we were coming from, towards Tesco. Then we met one guy. We asked him, please, we are going to that place. He was like, oh, you have to use this road, pass here. Eventually, we got to our accommodation. After getting lost without the map. So another thing you need in handy is your Google map. I'm not going to talk about how to set up your bank account. Most of the banks here do online banking. Even if you are opening a bank account, you have to do it online. So Lloyds, Santander, HSBC, Barclays, and the others. So what you have to do is that you go on the bank's website, and then you request to open a bank account. You look through the available options, whether it's a current account, a classic, a basic, whatever account you want. You open the bank account, you fill in all your details, and then you book an appointment. So like Barclays, they'll tell you to call, you call them, they'll tell you, okay, you can come on this date and this time. Or they will ask you, which date are you available, you choose. When it's time on that day, you go with your proof of address. That letter will be given to you by your employer, stating that you are a new nurse, this is your salary, this is the date you started, so this is your address. So you can open an account with them. You go with it, you go with your BRP card, you go with your passport, and they set up an account for you. What happened to me? I don't want to mention the bank's name. Some of the banks will just delay you. I was told to open their bank account on a specific day. That was the ending day for submitting of your account details. Otherwise, you cannot receive salary, because the NHS, things are a little bit different from the other places. I went to open the account on the deadline of that day they gave me, thinking I'll get that account number on that same day. And that particular bank actually didn't call me, didn't give me the bank account there and then. They told me to go, they'll call. They never called until about 5 days later. Some of the banks to give it instantly. So if you are opening the bank account, ask the bank or ask around people who have already opened. Let them tell you which bank is good that you can open, and then submit your details. Another thing you have to do is to go for your BRP card, your British Resident Permit card, and this has to be done immediately. So when you get here, there is a letter attached to your passport when you receive it from the UKVI with your visa staked in it. That letter, you shouldn't misplace it. You go with that letter to the nearest post office stated in the letter. When you go, you just present it, and they're going to give you a BRP card. It's this BRP card that you're going to use for a lot of things. It has an insurance number at the back. It's going to be used for your tax deductions, for your most of the things. You're going to use that BRP card instead of your passport, okay? So you have to get this BRP card immediately. So in a nutshell, get a Google map, get enough food, get warm clothing, ask at work around, ask if you don't know anything, if you want to learn more, ask. Also get a schedule on your phone or in your book, in your diary, that this is the schedule you're going to follow, so that you don't always run behind. I wish you the very best in your transition from your home country in the UK, and I hope you enjoy your stay whilst you move, because UK is a very beautiful place. Thank you so much for watching, for liking, for subscribing, and for giving this video a thumbs up. See you in my next.